Okay, now it's on.
Now it's on. That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Whatever you're talking about before was wild.
Yeah. Definitely crazy. Like, mountains will fall. The gods will speak to us from the skies. It's a whole thing. But,
my gods, you gotta impress them first to, like...
Yeah.
Marduk doesn't, like... He's like, you gotta, like, burn a couple bodies first to get
Marduk?
my attention. Yeah.
Marduk!
Yeah!
Marduk! This is The Mud Peddlers, a podcast where two nerdy ceramic artists share the behind the scenes of their worlds of clay. We are your hosts, Lindsey M Dillon.
And I am Donte of Earth Nation.
This week on The Mud Peddlers, to be honest, Donte and I, we've both had a bit of a week.
Had a bit of a week.
Bit of a week for different reasons. But we're kind of taking it easy today, and we're going to do a bit of a lifestyle? No, a life update.
It's an in the studio update.
Thank you, in the studio update.
Lifetime?
I can word, don't you worry.
Okay, I won't worry.
I can word.
You can English?
I can English.
We barely English.
Yeah.
If you talk to an English person, we like slang.
Yeah, well, because we speak American English.
Yeah.
Also, I realized earlier today. No, not earlier today. Earlier. Wow, really, I'm struggling. I'm waiting for the caffeine to kick in. We've got Donte has a iced coffee with an added shot, and I have a cafe au lait. So we're deviating from our boba tradition.
I wasn't gonna get anything, and then I was at the counter, and you were like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "I don't want anything." And then you and the cashier looked at me like
we're getting you something.
Yeah, and I was like, I just caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine, and this person behind the counter was like, "Yeah, we sell that here."
No, she was nice. I will not have you maligning the fantastic and exceedingly
she just looked at me
friendly baristas at Chocolate Fish Coffee Roasters.
It's like going to, a burger shack or something, and then they're like, "What do you want?" You're like, "A burger?" And they're like, "Oh, word?
Yeah.
For real?
What?
You stupid? What kind do you want?"
Oh my god. Yes, so considering that Donte and I have both had a bit of a week, the studio lifestyle update is in my mind, this episode is like halfway between the Mud Peddlers and the Night Peddlers.
Yeah, no, definitely. You're gonna get a little bit of Night Peddlers here.
Yeah. And it's been actually really fun. I've been feeling good about seeing the episodes rack up in our
Night Peddlers.
I
don't know if we're getting big, but like the Mud Peddlers in general is bigger than I thought it would become.
I'm just amazed y'all are still listening.
Yeah,
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're still here, because even though this isn't like a core episode, we're still hanging out.
Yeah.
We're still here.
I'm
in your earbud.
Yeah. What you doing? Are you enjoying a good day in the studio?
What's your name?
Yeah.
What's your sign?
What's your number?
Where you from?
What's your blood type?
You got 916? Ooh.
I gotta edit that part out. That's the first numbers of my phone number.
Oh, no.
I know.
You're supposed to say area codes only.
I know. I just, So, tell me what's been going on with you.
Oh, man. I got super sick last week. Ooh. I mean, like, horrendously sick. Just a little trigger warning. I'm gonna mention some bodily fluids.
Okay, hold on. I already heard this story once. I don't know how...
I'm gonna be nice about it.
I don't know how prepared... Okay.
I'll be nice about it.
Okay, you better be like high metaphor with this.
I'm gonna be real high metaphor with it.
Okay.
Mid metaphor?
Big metaphor?
Yeah, I'll be metaphorical.
Our dear listeners do not deserve to undergo what I underwent earlier when you told me what happened to your body.
Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got really sick. Well, actually, my wife, Abel, got sick first. And then about 3 days later, she gave it to me. So there was some cross-section there. And I want to say I stopped being sick Monday, but we basically had like some kind of stomach virus. Whoa. I couldn't eat like a half or a fourth of the food I normally ate. I didn't eat for a while. Couldn't go to the gym. Donte
is literally skin and bones in front of me.
Right now.
He's wearing a dark robe and he looks a little bit like death.
Yeah.
That's how thin he is. That's how much weight he lost.
It's true. I did look cut yesterday, though, because I hadn't eaten in a while. And I was like, damn, I've seen 4 of my abs.
Oh, God.
It was good. On the first day in which it really hit me, I hadn't eaten for a day before because I just didn't feel the hunger sensations. And I was like, man, I'm dizzy. I'm sweaty. I don't feel good. What's going on with me? I can't go to the gym. I can't eat as much. And so I was like, you know what I'll do? I just did like the caveman thing.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm just going to go eat all the food I normally eat in one sitting.
Oh, no.
For a day. So that way I don't have to eat for the rest of the day. I know there's some based guy listening to this right now who's my same beer gut weight who's like, yep, that makes sense.
Oh my God.
But like, we do this every now and then. Especially me, where I'm just like, okay, all my food in 1 to 2 meals. And each of them are like 800 or 1,000 calories.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, Cody does something similar sometimes.
Right. I'm convinced it's just like a guy thing. And I ate all that food. And then I did not feel good. I went home. I rolled back and forth. I was moaning on the bed. And I have a toddler. So she was kicking me in the stomach.
Oh!
And she was like, Dada, what's wrong? Smacking me in the face. Dada, she's violent and I love her. And at one point, when she finally went to sleep, I went to the bathroom and I just expelled everything. Everything came out. Of course, not without it coming out of the other side simultaneously.
Oh, honey, no.
It was bad.
Oh.
It was really bad. I was running in between the toilet and the sink, which are like 2 feet apart, but like still.
Oh.
And I got rid of everything in my stomach, which I was angry about because I had paid $40 for that meal. It was a lot of food for one person, and it was bad. I want to talk about my hand.
Don't.
I won't tell you about it, but...
Guys, just listeners, my God. Like, again, we're not just talking about in this episode Donte being sick. Don't worry, we're getting to other topics.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah,
but
I feel much better.
I just need y'all to know.
It was bad. I told her the full enchilada.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was worse than I'm making it seem right now.
No, it's not. It's really not.
No,
you could not over exaggerate how bad it was. You could not. Just guys, my dear listeners.
I feel much better now.
By the way, I say guys as a gender neutral term.
Yeah.
But
my unicorns.
Yeah.
Well, not every pony grows up to be a Pegasus.
Yeah, they do in their hearts. Anyway, just know, just no matter if you're praying to Marduk or, Vermina or whichever god, just know that Donte needed your prayers last week.
I did. It was really bad. And I spent a good 3 days. Like, I woke up, ate food. I did the caveman thing, and then I went back to sleep.
Yeah.
And thank God my beautiful wife was like, I'll take care of the baby. I slept one day. I woke up at like 9 a.m., did 3 hours of work, cleaned the house, did a little bit of pottery.
Wait, while you were sick?
Yeah, I don't not get work done while I'm sick.
Donte.
Wait, I just sit down on my ass?
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do when you're sick. You sit down and you take care of yourself.
Not allowed.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Donte, that's what we call toxic masculinity.
That's what I call being lazy.
That's what we call toxic masculinity. Because toxic masculinity hurts not only everybody, but including men.
I hurt myself for the sake of the economy and the cleanliness of my house.
God.
And that's called sacrifice. And that's what being a man's about.
Okay,
if I gotta die to protect something, that's what I'm doing.
Considering that we got a 1-star review that talked about how we're business owners who ironically want Marxism, which I thought was kind of funny.
That is crazy.
Let this be evidence to the contrary. Donte is willing to sacrifice his health for the economy. There's nothing more capitalist than that.
I had a comment a couple of weeks ago on my Instagram. Somebody called me like a porcelain supremacist. and it was their way of being like, ho, white supremacist. But I was like, I feel like you don't know me at all. You have not ingested any of my content whatsoever. I talk about being anti-porcelain. I'm not anti-porcelain, but I'm always like, guys,
it's not the...
pick up some brown clay once in a while, please.
Yeah.
It looks so much better on blues and flux glazes. Anyway, I feel much better now.
Yay!
Right? I still do get dizzy sometimes, like when I stand up or do something too much. I couldn't go to the gym yesterday. That killed me. That broke my heart a little bit. I still went to work. It was just like a stomach virus. Thankfully, the baby didn't get sick. And if she did, passed real quick.
Good.
Babies bounce back quick. But, like, me and the wife were down for... There was a day where I was on the couch for the high majority of the day. And, of course, it does nothing for my mental stability. Because, like, I feel like I'm not being productive. And so I feel... And I know this is toxic. And so I feel like I haven't earned my sleep.
That's why you need therapy.
I'm not gonna
You need therapy.
I'm just gonna play first-person shooters in Minecraft with Tim C.
All right.
I'm not gonna pay someone to tell me I'm broken.
Oh my god.
Give me the pills. Let me go back to work.
For the sake of the fact that it is mental health... I think it's like, what? Mental Health Awareness Month, I think, this month.
No,
it's
Mother's Day month.
Mother's Day month, well, that too. But I need to say that that is not what therapy is about. And everybody needs therapy. I have been in therapy for years, off and on. And definitely a fan. So
therapy's cool, but have you ever had a 360 no-scope headshot? Cures a lot of depression.
Yeah?
Yeah. They're hard to get, though. Real hard to get.
I don't actually know what that means.
It's pretty much bullet magnetism, if you think about it. It's just luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I believe you. Yeah. I'm happy for you.
You have a full set of netherite armor?
Netherite?
Yeah. It's like higher than diamond in the Minecraft world.
Oh, okay.
Fixes a lot of depression.
Oh, man. All right. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Well, I finished Baldur's Gate.
Did you?
I did.
Abel and I have been playing the crap out of Baldur's Gate because I'm married to the couch right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm coming off the sick.
Yes, exactly.
And because of it, yeah, no, please tell me about that.
Oh my god. Okay, so, okay. Oh, hold on. Before...
Did you kill Astarion first?
No!
You traitor.
No!
I hate him so
much. Oh
much.
my god. Okay, so, alright. Dear listeners, I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna say some spoilers about Baldur's Gate. So if you are playing Baldur's Gate and you do not want spoilers,
this is the Night Peddlers episode.
Skip ahead for a little bit. No, it's not full Night Peddlers. We're still got to talk about some clay stuff because you have some updates about ancient copper that I want to hear about.
I do.
And I have some
angry about it.
I have some sort of big live news that I'm gonna just hint at, but it's led me to doing some other fun stuff. But anyway,
She's pregnant!
No, I'm not. That would be literally, I'd be like, okay, if I got pregnant right now, considering that last year I had both of my full fallopian tubes removed from my body.
We're both technically snipped.
Yeah, we are.
Snip buddies!
Yeah! Yeah! If I got pregnant, I would be like, yo, there's the devil's baby in me. Good God, we're like done. Because, Immaculate Conception, there's that horror movie coming out that's about...
Oh, right.
Yeah, anyway, point being, I'm going to talk about some stuff with Astarion and some stuff with Baldur's Gate, so I'm going to just skip ahead like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so as some are members of the House of Stone and House of Flame on Patreon know if they've listened to these episodes.
Yes.
I love Astarion. He is my comfort romance character.
So cringy.
Next playthrough, I'm definitely gonna romance Shadowheart because I want me a goth girlfriend.
It's very disturbing to me that your number 1 and 2 weren't Karlach.
Karlach is
a little offended.
Karlach is best girl.
Yeah.
She's best girl, 100%. But I have best man in real life. My healthy relationship with a rad person exists in the real world with my fiance because I got engaged because I proposed.
Yes, Lindsey proposed.
I did.
That's important.
I should have,
Hear that? Conservatives! A woman proposed!
I mean, not that I fully identify.
Put that in your black coffee!
Oh my god. Yeah, actually, I should have prefaced that with a little bit more instead of sandwiching the fact that I'm engaged now.
Do you want to start that?
Within talking about Astarion, which is ironic, but no.
Because she wants to marry Astarion.
No, okay, so I'll, okay, all right, hold on, all right, I'll come back to the...
Just restart it.
No, now it's the thing, So we're going with this take.
I love Astarion and now I'm engaged.
Yeah.
In the same sentence? In the same sentence.
I know, it's kind of funny actually. Oh god. Anyway, point being. Okay, so Astarion, right? Alright, so I romanced Astarion, did the whole thing.
Okay.
I had him make the right moral choices in dealing with Cazador.
It's crazy you have to make him do that.
Yeah. Because, well, I mean, I didn't make him. I just tried to convince him. And he listened to me because I had romanced him and he liked me. But here's the thing.
I'm listening.
This actually kind of ties in to the engagement thing.
Okay.
So, all right. So, major spoilers. Wait, do you care if I spoil for you?
No, because I've like played most of it.
Okay.
The main difference between like my playthrough and your playthrough is that the second I saw Astarion, I opted.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe you're going through your entire playthrough without...
I was like, oh, look, a vampire. That's gotta die.
Oh my god.
And I killed him.
So bad.
He's a theater kid vampire. He had to die.
Oh my god.
And every time he talks to me, he's like, hello, darling. I'm like, oh, you're cringe. You gotta
I love him so much!
Oh.
So
what's the reverse of a boner?
I romanced him, did the whole thing, and then there's a choice that you make towards the very end of the game, and I won't spoil all of why this happens, but you basically to make a moral decision, you have an option to become a mind flayer. Like, full ceramorphosis. Right. You get the tentacles, you get everything, right?
Wait, did you not pick the middle path where you can be, like, a sort of mind flayer?
No. This is later on.
Oh, okay.
This is later on. This is, like, one of the last decisions you can make in the game. And so I decided to do that. I went full mind flayer. And I'm thinking, like, well, I mean, Astarion's a vampire. Surely he'll love me.
No, it is not the same.
Still for being a mind flayer.
Still more pure.
And here's the thing.
He was like, ew, babe.
No.
Gross, my love.
Ew, babe. No. Well, okay, so here's why. So we went through the whole thing, defeated the elder brain. It was great.
Yeah.
Then there's this cutscene where we're like, in bed and stuff. And Astarion is basically just like, hey, so I got all this, like, life ahead of me now, and you're, like, are you even you anymore? And I'm like, yes, of course it's still me. But he
dumped you, dog.
He kind of leaves.
He
kind of leaves it being like, I just need a break. Maybe, we'll come, maybe we'll see, maybe we'll come back again. And then at the thing where...
That's the most boy shit I've ever heard in my whole life.
And then when you come back to at the end where you get to have the party with all of your teammates, it's like super clear that you and Astarion are like no longer an item. But here's the thing. Because I also romanced Halsin because I want me a big bear elf man. Halsin was like, look at your tentacles. Look at how they... Wait, no. Hold on.
Yes.
He's like, wait, hold on, I gotta do the voice better. Look at your tentacles.
Oh my God.
Look at how they gleam.
That's how he talks.
It is nature's glory.
No, it's not!
Yes, it is!
It's a mind flayer!
Yes, it is!
It's the opposite of natural!
And so, in my playthrough, in my headcanon, because Halsin invites me back to his grove, I go back with Halsin, and here's the thing. Here's why it's important, and here's how it relates to the engagement.
I'm listening.
So Astarion is like the tragic romance that, gets your blood hot, and it's like all this stuff, right? And it's like the intense tragic romance. But Halsin is the man you marry. Halsin is the man you marry because Halsin is the man that can adapt with you through your changes. And that's the kind of partner I want, and that's why I proposed.
Listen.
Because Cody and I have been together for like 12 years.
Oh my God.
And
it hurts.
And we have grown together. We've done all these things. It's like, he's my Halsin. Ah!
Okay, listen, like, Astarion is definitely the guy that when you're 20 years old and you want to have fun with, like, a bad romance.
Yeah.
That's it. And then, like, Halsin's, like, the guy who will actually build you a house and take care of your kids.
I mean...
But, like, Astarion's not doing that. And every time
He still might, though. He's just not cool with my
He's
players.
hot. He's just not secure. He's like, babe...
He is by the end, depending on your choices.
Babe,
or he gets, like, real dark. And he's just like, let me kiss you. And then he makes you get on your knees. It's great. I watched some videos on Instagram about, like, what happens if you make the other choice.
Astarion's like, babe, hand me your card so that when the waiter comes by, it looks like I'm paying because I'm the man.
Oh my God. No,
and Halsin just pulls out his card and then just, like, pays for it and doesn't mention it ever again. Astarion literally gives you the, it's not you, it's me line.
No, he makes it pretty clear it's you if you're a mind flayer.
We should take a break. You know who I really
It actually made me really sad, though. Like, all jokes aside... I was actually sad because it kind of like finishing Baldur's Gate felt like finishing a really good book series.
Of course.
Where it's like, it's like you've gotten attached to all these characters, like your character has gone through all these things and then it's like over. And I was actually like sad, not just about Astarion, but about like the whole thing coming to a close. And I literally had to like sit there right as I was about to go to Withers and like officially end the game.
Withers, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, you know what? It's all right. It's all right. Everyone's okay. Everyone's okay. And then I entered the game.
There's a couple things in my playthrough that I really enjoy. Yeah. But you know me, like if I have the ability to op you without consequence and like you annoy me, you're just gone. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the second I met Astarion, he like tried to trick me. You know the thing he does when he like tries to trick you.
Right. Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you don't play Baldur's Gate, it's essentially Dungeons and Dragons, but a video game. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
But they give you these preset characters. And Astarion is like the vampire, and Halsin's like the druid, but he's very large. He's like 6 foot something and very burly.
Yeah. He's an elf, which is like against the traditional, not against, but like it's different than the normal like association of like the thin, lithe elves or whatever. So,
right. He's not like skinny and dancing on water and stuff like that. And then you have like Karlach, which is basically like a tiefling for hire, I think, or she's a demon. She was turned into a demon. She used to be something.
No. She wasn't turned into a demon. She had a infernal engine like placed into her chest so that she can be ultra like more powerful.
Right, but that made her like part of the Hell's army. But before that, she was just like a normal.
Yeah, like a normal tiefling.
Right, and then of course you create your own character with all the subclass. Anyway, all of these characters you're able to romance, right? And even though the majority of book buyers I'm pretty sure the majority of people who buy fantasy books are really just people who like to prefer to like read their pornography instead of watch it.
Oh my god, there's so many other reasons to read fantasy.
Listen, I don't know what's going on because I keep on trying to read more like fantasy books, but I have noticed almost every book has a romantic subplot. And I really like, I don't want that. If you're saving the world, I don't want to look over to the person that like, oh, that girl was mean to me, and I'll never like her. And then over the course of 4 books, I'm like, but I've come to appreciate her as a person, and I love her. Like,
all right,
there's an asteroid coming towards Earth. Can we not do this right now?
Listeners, if you have any recommendations for us for fantasy books that do not include a cheesy romantic subplot, please send them. Send them to us.
That'd be great. So because of that, I play Baldur's Gate very differently in that I reject almost like everybody.
Oh my god.
Except for the one person I really want, which of course is Karlach. And Karlach is in love with my wife's character.
Oh my god!
So I'm just going around the camp as Shadowheart's like, so maybe like, do we have like a thing? And I'm like, no, Shadowheart, stay in your place.
Oh my god.
You look like you wear Ugg boots and order Starbucks. And during your changeover, you change your hair from black to platinum blonde, which only cements my stereotype about you, by the way. You changed your god the second you found out they killed your dad or whatever. I don't even know if your dad's alive. I didn't finish that quest line because that fight was hard.
Oh, dude, that's such a good fight, though.
I know, I couldn't it's the only fight I didn't finish.
I couldn't. I tried to do that fight at like level 10 or 11 and it did not work. I had to level up to max level before I could finish that fight.
I figured out a way to do it, but I wasn't happy with the way I did it.
Oh, you felt like you were cheesing it?
Yeah, like I cheesed it, and so I was like, this isn't fair. Right, and so like, if they annoy me, or if they romance me too much, I just kill them.
Oh my god.
And then I keep the same characters throughout the whole, so like Will's annoying. He had to die.
Oh my god, you killed Will?
Yeah, I killed Will. Every time you talk to Will, he's like, I'm the blade. I'm like, hey, Will, how's your day going? And he's like, well, every day is a good day for the blade of the frontier. And then when you finish this quest line, he's like, I am Archduke of the frontier. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
You gotta go.
I suggested that he not become the Archduke.
God, he probably gets another stupid title, huh?
Yeah.
Just God damn it.
Actually, so at the end, wow, okay, so I have so many spoilers, but this is so it goes. So at the end...
This might be just a straight up...
No. We are 24 minutes in and we have to stop. We have to start talking about
We gotta do another 30 minutes of pottery.
No, not there yet. We gotta talk about pottery also. Oh, Will. Will ends up joining Karlach in Avernus.
If you don't romance Karlach, yeah?
Yeah.
If you do, she's like, I'm dying here. With you.
Really?
Yeah. She doesn't leave. She's like, and she's pissed about it too, but she's like, I love you too much to leave.
That's so sad.
I know.
But you can join her in Avernus, right? Can you go with her?
I don't know. I never got that option in my playthrough. What? So like, that's what I thought, right? Once I romanced her, she's like, I'm gonna stay here with you because I won't go back to Avernus.
Right.
And then you're like, we could just live in Avernus.
Yeah.
Like, I'll love you forever in Avernus. And she's like, I don't want to go back. And I'm like, well, your options are dying or going back. And I could, like, I could just live with you in your house. And she's like, no. And she doesn't really give you an option.
That's so sad.
Right? And so, Halsin I leave alone, because I love him a lot. He's really cool.
Based.
Yeah.
Halsin's based.
Will died. Astarion died. Gale died. Gale got used as a bomb because
right.
He's a gaslighter. Like, he spun this... I think my problem, and I'll try and stop here, right? My problem with a lot of the characters is that they have this, like, poor me backstory. Like, oh, I'm this way because I've been hurt in the past.
Yeah.
I've been used as a slave for X, Y, Z. And I'm like, so has everyone else in the game, including Karlach, and she still didn't turn out as much of a dick as you are. You have the same stuff that Carlac has going on, and Carlac is just a better person than you altogether. So when I got to, and I know everyone's experience is different, but I'm just tired of, like, the characters giving me this experience of, like, I've been through a lot. And it's changed me as a person, so I'm sorry if my toxicity hurts you. And Carlac is just like, I was a slave in hell for many years. It's like, my body was used in ways I did not agree to. I was sold. And then she's like, want to go hang out? And you know what I mean? Like,
oh my God. All right. I hear it.
Okay, we're done talking.
We should start talking
We're now done talking about Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
At the 30-minute mark.
At the 30, practically. I mean, by the time I edit some of this, it'll probably be earlier.
Yeah.
Because...
It's good energy, though. The coffee kicked in.
The coffee kicked in?
The coffee kicked in.
Yes, it did. All right, let's talk about studio stuff.
Okay, so what do you have? What have you been working on?
So I haven't been doing a lot in the studio because of reasons that I will tell later.
Yeah.
But I did start finally making some progress on a project that I have been wanting to do for a long ass time. So, and I've talked to you about it a little bit, but it's been a long time. So I've had this idea for a while of creating a pantheon of these things called Numina. And Numina are basically like demigods. Like they rule over very like specific sorts of things. And they also can sometimes be called, like sometimes people will call like the certain spirit a place has a Numina. So if you like go into a forest grove and it's really beautiful, you could say like, they're like, this place has a Numina about it or something.
Is this like canon or did you make up the term?
Oh, no. Numina it's a canon term. Yeah. It was originally, at least, well, my understanding is that it's originally a Roman word.
Yeah, it's like the polytheism of Roman gods where like there's a god of thunder and a god of bread and a god of...
Yes, but Numina specifically are like underneath like the main gods.
Are they
so like Jupiter or Zeus in Greek mythology would not be considered Numina. He's like a god.
Right, he's like a president.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah.
But
there could be like there's literally a Numina of sidelong glances. So like if you're walking past and you're like judging someone and you like look at them sideways, there's a Numina for that.
Imagine you have like the necklace of the deity of the sidelong glances.
So it's funny that
then you're like, that's crazy because that person's just judgmental of the god.
See, it's funny that you say that because that is kind of what I want to do.
That's hilarious.
I want to create, and not necessarily that they're all like bad.
Yeah.
But I really love the idea of like, well, just in general, I like the idea of polytheism, of different gods, you know, things like that. Like I don't actually believe it, but I like the idea of doing things like, what if there was a Numina or like a demigod of like writing resumes? What if there was a demigod for when you finally get out of bed in the morning, when you finally overcome your like depression?
Caffeine god. Let's
go. Caffeine god. Yeah, like all these different things. So
god. Let's go.
So I started writing...
God of boners.
Yep, exactly. Definitely. All those things. I started writing like the introduction to what would be like a little mini like booklet that I want to make. And again, God knows, you dear listeners have heard me talk about all the different projects I want to do and never follow through on. But the only reason I'm talking about it is because I actually finally started making some progress on it.
No, that's right.
So I'll be sharing the writing on Patreon first. And then eventually, you know, when I like finish all of it, but it's been really fun, like actually making some progress on some of the stuff. So I'm going to be framing it kind of like a, like, cause I don't want it to be necessarily fully set in our world, like our current world. I want it to be kind of like what's the word? Like a ARG kind of a thing, but
ARG.
Alternate reality game. But I want to do it so it's kind of like our world, but like an alternate sort of version of our world.
Okay.
So there will still be a god of resumes because, you know, if I wanted to like set it in like a different, like a past time period, like resumes weren't a thing, right?
Right.
So I still want to have like contemporary subjects for these like demigods, but I want to have it be a variety of things. So it'll some of it will be more surface level stuff like resumes, but then other things will be more like emotionally impactful kind of thing. So anyway, so I've started writing some stuff. That's been really fun to do a little bit more creative, or rather, not so much that it's doing things that are more creative, but it's nice to be setting aside some time for some of those back burner projects.
Yeah.
I'm also really happy because I finally got my plaster.
She smacked a bag of plaster.
Smacked a bag of plaster.
That's what that was.
Yep. So when I make a little bit more progress on the super secret thing that I can't talk about, I am, well, I won't say I'm going to do anything because, again, I tend to make a lot of promises that I don't follow through on.
Well, tell me. So I think I know what it is. Tell me when you figure it out, because I think I know what you're talking about, and I've been asking other people, and I think I know how to do it, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I know how to do it too. I've done plaster casting before.
Right.
But I have not done it on a piece that is like big. Like an actual like vessel. Like I've done plaster castings for like I made like a bowl mold one time.
Right.
But I f***ed it up. And I've done plaster for when I do hand carved sprig molds.
Right.
But I mean, fortunately, we've both made the plaster.
Yeah, we know how to make plaster.
Yeah, plaster backs. Like
so many
mixed
people
it,
use that as a video.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad it's been so helpful to folks, and I'm always shouting out Sue McLeod because she's the one who shared that with us.
I know,
and then we just like walked through and showed the process. But I do feel a little badly that like a lot of people.
We just made a YouTube video about it, and that's more open source than like because she has a really good blog that I use for sourcing my stuff all the time.
Yes, her newsletter that she sends out, which is essentially her blog posts. So good.
Right.
Like, she just posted one on, like, calcine kaolin, which is just like, yes.
Yeah, I think the only issue is that, like, and not really, more for her, is that more people probably watch YouTube than read blogs. Because, like, video form is probably just easier to sit and kind of, like, go through than it is for entertainment value. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if that's true. I don't know the numbers on that.
Yeah,
I'm just assuming, because that's what I do. But, like...
But she's also, like... Dude, she's had so many articles in like Ceramics Monthly and stuff.
I find her everywhere, I'm telling you.
She's based. I'm learning how to use that word. I'm learning how to use the word based, guys.
That's good. That's
very excited.
She's pottery based for sure.
Yeah,
that's great.
Anyway.
No, you're good.
Anyway, I'm trying to think what else I have been
You're working on Sac Anime as well, right? Like I'm doing like 5 cups every couple days. Because I've essentially told myself like I'm only doing rice bowls, ramen bowls, teapots, and teacups.
Oh,
and
really?
then like mugs. I'm not doing anything else.
Yeah.
And like realistically, because I'm next to a tea shop, I mean mugs are cool, but like I'm doing tea stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, a lot of people use mugs for tea though, because tea is hot.
They are the T-shirt of the ceramic art world. Mm-hmm. Everyone has them, a bunch of them, you know. But like, I need to make like socks and pants.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm next to someone who sells, like, feet. And that's what the sock's going.
This is a metaphor?
This is a metaphor.
T-Cozy does not sell feet.
T-Cozy does not sell feet. If they did, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that'd be pretty strange. Yeah, like, generally, I'm still, like, prepping for Sac Anime. Like, essentially, I gave myself, and I think we talked about this a little bit on an earlier episode, that, like, the way I've scheduled the year is I'm basically doing big inventory prep all in the like spring and summer and like early fall.
Yeah.
And so that ideally I want to have all my fall inventory like so the order of events is Sac Anime, Ren Fair, which I still have to apply to get into.
Yeah, we want to do a Ren Fair real bad.
A Halloween update, holiday update, and then Sac Anime Winter. So those are basically the events that I'm prepping for. And the thing that I've been working on that I'm not talking about yet is pushing out that timeline for sure. Because I'm basically giving myself like all of May to work on this particular project. And then in June, I'm going to get back on the wheel and like actually start producing stuff again. That's the general plan. So
what I'm trying to do at the moment is every time I go in the studio, I need to make like 4 or 5 things. Mm-hmm. And they got to be simple. Because like I'm getting a lot of my creative juices out by going to class, and some of my classes need a lot of help. Like the beginner classes, I'm walking around for like an hour and a half to 2 hours really helping people with their stuff. Mm-hmm. And then once everyone's kind of helped and done, for the last hour or so, sometimes they get, I wouldn't say irritated, but I get the vibe that they're like, okay, do your own thing, man.
Yeah, like, let us alone.
Yeah, leave us alone, let us experience. And that's what I like. I like to give them instruction and then have them experience something.
Yeah.
So that when they run into roadblocks and problems, they can come back to me and go, hey, I ran into a problem. Do you have experience with kind of getting over this hurdle? And I can go, yes, let me show you how. But some of the classes, like my Thursday night class, only has like 6 or 7 students. And they're all really good artists. So
you actually have a decent amount of time to like pursue that creative stuff. So what kind of stuff have you been making?
I made like a 2-footer yesterday.
Nice.
No, I'm sorry. this week.
Oh, okay.
Because I was watching someone else on Instagram do like a composite piece, and that's really one of the ways that you get like 3 foot, 4 foot tall vases.
Right.
And I thought, I have that thought that I usually have to myself whenever I see someone else's work on Instagram. I'm like, do I know how to do that? Mm-hmm. And then you just kind of do it. If you're experienced enough, you're like, oh yeah, of course I do. Like I've been doing this long enough to where I can kind of fit that together.
Yeah.
And of course, I saw a vase in a video game. And I was like, that's a big vase, and I want to make that.
Ah, that's great.
I'll probably give it to my patrons pretty soon. I'll probably show them what I'm talking about now, once it's created. But hopefully it survives. It's made of BMX with grog, so it shouldn't crack or anything.
Yeah.
That's a pretty hefty clay.
What video game is it from?
It's Destiny.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Bless. That's great. That's great.
It's huge.
How fun, though.
I know. I'm really excited about it. Right?
I'm really glad that you've been able to, like, put aside and, like, execute some of the, like, more creative ideas that you've had. Because you were definitely talking about feeling like, oh, man, I'm just, like, producing mugs all day, every day.
I'm so tired of mugs. Yeah. I'm just so tired of them. And of course, because it's getting hot, I have to pay extra attention to my stuff. My porcelain dries a little faster,
Yeah.
Just the tiniest bit, like 3 hours faster. So if I uncover my stuff in the morning while it's still cool, and I come back and the temperature is raised at least 10 degrees 3 hours later during the evening, like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, then I have to okay, now it's time to trim that stuff.
Yeah.
But with stoneware stuff, or at least like grog heavy stuff, it's like, just leave it.
I still have to be really careful with that. Because, of course I use half and half. And it is. It's a little rough on my hands, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But it has the lower absorption rate, so that's why I switched to it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But so I'll be really curious to see how that responds, because I feel like in general I've had fewer issues with cracking. So I'll be curious to see how it does with warping, because that's a really big problem that I have during the summer.
Yeah.
Is like actually keeping my stuff evenly
rounded.
Well, not so much rounded, but evenly, like drying evenly.
Right.
But yeah, I was very much reminded that there's a temperature change, because I put like,
oh my God,
probably, at least 25 pounds of recycled clay on my plaster bat.
And it was done the next day.
Dude, well, no, I came back like 3 days later because I'm thinking, oh, it's winter. It'll be done in 2 weeks.
Nope.
It was like I had to like wrap it in a large wet rag to get it to start rehydrating, because so I was like, yep, it's summertime. She's coming.
Yeah, no, definitely. And other than that, I'm trying to make like 4 or 5 things. Yeah. Every time.
Are you... Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Go.
Are you making any specifically new designs for any of your fall events, like SAC Anime? Because I know, like, the folks from Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss are going to be at SAC Anime. So,
I don't even know what that is.
It is... I haven't watched it yet, but it's a apparently a very, like, popular animated series on... I think it's on YouTube, that a bunch of folks have been watching and cosplaying and stuff for. So, my friend Brandon was like, hey, Lindsey, have you seen, like... I can't remember if it's the animators or the voice actors who are going to be there, but... He was basically like, hey, some folks from these shows are going to be at SAC Anime. Like, you should make some, some stuff. So anyway, I haven't solidified any of the designs for that yet. But I'm like, I have a list of new designs that I want to make between now and SAC Anime. So I was just curious if you have any like specifically new designs that you're exploring.
I haven't. I usually like to put my designs on brown clay because I like the white underglaze kind of contrast.
Oh yeah.
But whenever I put black, and this is a different thing, but whenever I put like black underglaze on a porcelain or a white clay body, it kind of just looks like unfinished work, if that makes sense.
Oh.
If I just leave it alone, like if I glaze, let's say this was white clay and I glazed it just like right here and the design was here and this is porcelain, it just kind of looks like I put a design on like unfinished clay.
Oh, yeah. I hear what you're saying. But so like if you just put like a design without
any glaze over it.
Oh, okay.
Or near it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just like straight, like, but this
like, and use whatchamacallit, because like obviously when I add designs, I make a stamp that I actually put like a sprig mold that's essentially putting it on top of the cup.
I use a silk screen.
Silk screen. That's the word I was looking for.
I do this.
Yeah.
Which I'm holding up a teacup right now, but
like y'all can't see, but it's the cups for it's the Avatar: The Last Airbender cups that we made for Tea Cozy. So it's a brown clay body. I think it's redstone. Yeah. And then it's the four element symbols from Avatar applied using a white underglaze and a silk screen.
Right, but this just kind of like, to me anyway, it looks like way more natural than like a like porcelain that looks unfinished. This is just my personal taste. But other than that, no, I'm really trying to concentrate on like teacups maybe mugs, teapots, rice bowls, ramen bowls. And that's just, like, that's what I'm doing.
Are you going to make more of the,
Yeah.
What's that called? I have to, hold
People
on.
are just calling them jagged cups.
Yeah, there's like a term. There's like a term for it.
Organic. At least that's what I call them, like, organic teacups. Because they're supposed to mimic kind of like this rocky exterior. People seem to really like them. Like, every time I go to the table, like, wow, this is different. It's not just like a smooth. This has texture. It feels good, you know?
Yeah, it's basically, it's the one where you have, like, normally it's like a block of clay and then you carve it out jaggedly. But you throw it on the wheel and then alter it by essentially cutting off parts of it and then, like, pulling it so that it has, like you're saying, a organic geometric shape. But there's a word for it. And it's driving me crazy. Listener, because apparently my terrible memory is not letting me Google this, let us know what that word is, because someone out there probably knows what term that is.
I've been calling it organic work. I don't know if that's the culturally appropriate term for it. I'm sure it's...
There's a specific thing for it. It's like how kintsugi is like a specific technique, a specific thing. So this technique also has a word.
Yeah.
But I can't remember what that word is. But
me either, really.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make more of those. Mm-hmm. I have developed a couple of new glazes.
Ooh, pray tell.
I will totally say that they are failure glazes, but it's not because the glazes themselves are bad. They're actually quite good. I'm very happy with the glazes.
You just made them as you were trying to make something else.
I was trying to make ancient copper. I think, and if you read my blog at earthnationceramics.com, you will see my actual journey through it. I just released one literally today. So by the time you're hearing this, you will be able to see probably another, like, it'll be 2 blogs later. Really.
Yeah.
But essentially, I've been trying to redevelop ancient copper, and I was talking to someone, and I'm not going to say who, and they were like, you know, I'm looking at your stole chart for your formulas. Why are you over here? And why is your silica to alumina ratio so damn high? It's like 9 or 11.
It's too damn high.
Yeah, and I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, I don't know if you know this, but ancient copper is technically just a matte glaze with lots of, like, alumina development, which people call crystals. But they're not, like, zinc crystals.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just, like somebody dumped a bunch of Gerstley, like, boron. Somebody dumped a bunch of boron into a matte base and put some crystallish things in there. It might be titanium, it might be zinc, who knows? And then, like, those formed over time. And that was it. And so at cone 5, it's a matte glaze. At cone 6, it's like a little crystalline matte glaze. And I was like, I've been in the wrong portion of the formula stuff. So I started messing with matte glazes, essentially matte, crystalline-ish matte glazes.
Yeah.
And on the first try, I got like a third of the results I wanted.
Dude, that's awesome.
I made an entirely new glaze that it is not, don't look on Glazy right now. It's not there. I will release it probably in the next couple months because I need to fine-tune this.
Okay.
Because, like, I usually throw things together, and then if they turn out good, I fine-tune them.
Yeah.
And then the final result is what I really want.
Is what you end up with. Yeah.
Like
and what you, like, publish.
Yes. The Greymon was fine-tuned over months.
Yeah.
To be exactly where it is. So that recipe is tuned in. That's why it's released to the public.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, this new one's called Growlmon. Growlmon.
I hope to God that the folks who are responsible for Digimon never get up your ass about this stuff, because I love that you have the Digimon naming convention.
Here's Growlmon is the evolution of Greymon in the Digimon.
Oh my God, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty happy with this glaze. I will probably test it on multiple clay bodies, release it, make a blog about it, XYZ. But that's essentially what's been happening in my studio as far as glaze development. I've been trying to create ancient copper, and I've accidentally, remember I was like, I made a red glaze?
Yeah.
And so I have 4 of them now.
Dude!
I have 4 red glazes.
That's, oh my God, you're gonna have to show me all of them.
Oxidation red.
Oh my God.
And I need to like actually make a matte red that's good, with good alumina development and good heat and enough boron to like melt it, like actually develop the alumina. And I think that is where ancient copper lies. Maybe like 1 or 2% zinc, but sometimes too much zinc mats things out over like 5% and it makes it look weird.
Okay.
Maybe like 1% titanium, we'll find out. Sometimes that makes things too matte and milky.
Yeah.
But like, I think a third of the process was figured out by me just going, oh, it's a matte glaze. Somebody being like, bro, why are you, it's a matte glaze, why are you stupid? So, so now I'm pretty happy about it, honestly.
Oh my God.
It came out.
So okay, so like, when do you think people will be able to see the results of what you've been working on? Like how much more tweaking do you have to do?
Because I have access to the kilns at Sun City and I'm putting a test dial in like every 2-3 weeks into a real kiln with good heat work. Not like a tester, not like a scut firebox that takes 2 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you're actually testing it in the kind of kiln that like most folks will.
Yes. Yeah. It should be about another 3 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like I'm going to go home today and redevelop it and test it and do a small line test. And that's usually what I do is I make the base glaze that worked before.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, this glaze was a success.
Yeah.
Let me tune it a little bit and make another batch of that glaze, and then let me add things or take things away from it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And
okay. Yeah.
That's my line
and
test.
then you test. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so this is the base glaze. And then I dip that, and then I reblend it, and I add like, let's say I'm making a 100 gram batch. I put 1% titanium in it. And I go, okay, this is the base glaze plus 1% titanium, and I dip that. Yeah. And I get to see like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%.
Yeah.
And I usually put 3 or 4 different tests in there. And then whatever goes in the right direction, I stick with that. So let's say that I have the base glaze of what I'm calling Graumon at the moment.
Yeah.
And 1% zinc looks fantastic. So the next base of the glaze, the recipe's now been updated to Graumon plus 1% zinc. That becomes part of the original recipe.
Yes.
And then I play with that. And I start, by the time I get to a glaze that I think has a lot of potential to it, I start making it what I call, and this is, I'm sorry, this is a deep dive on glaze stuff. I start calling it, like making it more efficient. So a lot of the minerals that we mix in with our water to make glazes have like a lot of free floating silica in them. But a lot of free floating silica isn't good for like the energy conservation of the glaze. So I tend to take out silica. Right. And then add flux.
Because the other components that are in the glaze kind of already have some silica in them.
Right. Like a bunch of Fritz have free floating silica in them. Like I would love to have a chemical or a mineral that was just like one thing. But the purest one I can find is lithium, and that's a carbonate form, and that's water soluble, and I don't want that.
Right.
Like, even my Tenmoku Gold has a bunch of lithium in it, so in order to make Tenmoku Gold work, I have to, like, dip it, wait for it to dry, and dip it again. Yeah. So the lithium layers on top of each other, and that's the way I'm getting my, anyway. I try and stay away from lithium, and I try and go with other stuff now, like spodumene and frit and whatnot.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the right metaphor, but for folks who, are like completely new or know nothing about glaze chemistry, I feel like making a glaze more efficient is kind of like when you do the dishes, you don't need a 1/4 cup of dish soap on your sponge. You can use a couple drops.
Exactly.
And so, yeah.
And like your dish soap just goes away long, and it like your dishes get just as clean as they were before. You're not wasting as much material. You're saving time. You're technically saving energy, if that makes sense. And my goal is to take out silica, usually not alumina. I kind of leave that alone, even though it's a lot. And add like a little bit of flux somewhere, or try and work around the chemistry so that I get more meltiness. Yeah. To make it the way I want it to be. Right? The amount of glazes that I've gotten, and I'll stop soon, I promise. There's some people who
are like, we don't know what you're talking
there's
about.
Some people right now who are listening to this and they're like, this is how you make glazes. Yeah. And there's some people who are like, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna keep buying the bottles, man.
Yeah, which is fair.
Which is fine, right? I will say, check out Clayscapes though. It's crazy out there. Clayscapes gives you like 5 pounds of glaze. I'm still freaking out over the fact that $40 gets you like 3 liters of glaze.
Yeah. To be honest, like, if you've been using bottle glazes, but you're like me and you hate brushing on glazes if you want to start dipping, Clayscapes is a really great starting point because basically all you need to do is... I can't remember. Did they tell you how much water to add?
They give you a hydrometer reading.
They do a hydrometer reading, yeah. So, it's easy. Like, literally, if you... Like, hydrometers are, what, like $20-$30 or something like that?
They're the price of a bottle of glaze.
Yeah. If you've ever used, like, a mercury thermometer... or if you've ever used a ruler. If you've ever used a ruler in your life, you can use a hydrometer. It's really not hard. So if you are looking to start dipping glazes, go to Clayscapes, buy their like, because they essentially sell the glaze in like as the dry material without the water. Yes. And you get a lot more of it for cheaper, and all you have to do is get a bucket, add some water.
5 pounds of it for like, their Coastal Blue is like $30, and then you gotta pay shipping. Yeah. Which is insane, because I have like 3 or 4 liters of Coastal Blue.
It's good. It's a good deal.
For the price of 2 pints of glaze from like a regular... I'm sorry. I know I'm turning into a Clayscapes fanboy, but it's insane.
And I think there are, like, if I remember correctly too, I think Alpha Fired Arts also sells like larger amounts of specific glazes, but I'm not entirely sure, so don't quote me on that.
Well, they do, but you have to special order them. Mm-hmm. Like, your clay store will get it for you, but you have to special order them, and they're usually really costly. Like, I want to say about 5 years ago, I asked him about Fire Brick Red or Red Fire Brick from Potter's Choice Amico.
Yeah.
And to get it to me and then to buy it from the company was like $100-something. And although I think it was more pounds of glaze, it was like 10 pounds.
Oh, wow.
But that's still not equivalent to me.
Yeah, like it still wasn't worth the juice, wasn't worth the squeeze.
Definitely not. Yeah. Not for that. And that was like 5 years ago. And, you know, things do be expensive right now, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they were always expensive, but they're extra expensive right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 1/20th of my grocery shopping cart is like $70. God. And I'm just buying milk, you know?
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to say right before we go? You want to do any kiln plugs?
Ooh, kiln plugs.
Did you do I just did a store update at earthnationceramics.com.
Hell yeah.
Have you done one recently?
I still have my update from, like a month ago?
Okay.
Up on my website. I still have a bunch of seconds, so if you have been looking to buy something, but you're on a slightly more limited budget, I still have got a bunch of sale pieces up there. I've got some non-sale pieces, so go have a look. And, that's the kiln plug.
Kiln plug!
Kiln plug!
Damn, son, that kiln peephole looking good.
Another one. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of The Mud Peddlers. We would love to hear from you, so if you want to share your thoughts about the episodes or just see what Donte and I are working on in our studios, come say hi. You can find links to my social media at lindseymdillon.com. That's LINDSEY, M as in monster, DILLON.com.
And you can visit my pottery shop or see what I'm working on at earthnationceramics.com. And you can find me all over social media at Earth Nation Ceramics. It's spelled exactly how you think it's spelled.
And if you want to support the show, hear some bonus episodes, and see some behind the scenes of my work, you can support me and the show at patreon.com/Lindsey M Dillon. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.